Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Um,
um, I don't have
I,
any idea if anyone's gonna join us or not. I didn't. Did you ever get a response?
no,
I didn't either.
but
So
I figured we should at least talk to. Well, let me get a screenshot.
I've got it recording too. So
Okay. Um, I I feel like Joe sends things out, and I feel like I've missed something.
yeah, I have no idea sometimes what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I he doesn't often respond, and I've sent several emails like, let me know what's going on, because I thought maybe there was some communication that I missed or something he sent. So I don't know what he wants to do. I looked at his thing with the symbols, and I was like, fine, whatever, let's just choose something and move on. And I didn't get any response. So I don't know. I think we just need to choose something that we're going to do so that our China partners can get on with it.
My fear about the symbols is the kids are gonna get lost with symbols. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't think it's not my favorite idea either. I did you see what I put together with the little scale?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I did the eggs, thinking we could do something
See,
with
I never
pictures.
saw the egg. I never saw what you did.
Did you never get it?
I never got it.
Okay, let me, while I'm on with you, send it to you right now.
Okay, because I wondered that too. That I figured I must have missed something, and it could be that I got it and like I just somehow missed it. Um,
Because
but
I kind of did something similar to what Joe did, except I did it in terms of something the kids know, like a dozen eggs.
oh yeah.
And then I left it, I stopped where you picked up.
Okay,
So where we could go into stoichiometry with it. I did like the dimensional analysis part.
and I'm really not that picky about what we do. I just think we need to choose something on our end so that they can move on with it.
Right,
And
I agree.
and if Joe's like attached to an idea, or if you are, I'm fine with whatever. I just want to choose something and move on because I don't really care that much what the topic is. They're all good.
Yeah, I agree. My biggest fear, like I said, was with Joe's. I'm afraid the kids are going to get lost in the um, all the symbols. They're going to get caught up in the symbols instead of the concept. Okay, I just sent it again.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I got it this time. Let me open it.
I'm going to try not to make you sick, but I got to let my cat outside.
Oh, no worries. I'm reading your
Okay.
document anyway. So this is good. What would it look like in the game?
That's what in my original email, I was like, I don't know how this would look like in the game. I don't know if we could use that as like a demo of how to walk, click next to see what happens or something like that.
Uh huh.
And then we build with stoichiometry from there. That's where I was lost.
Well, I I don't want to be like self promoting of my idea, but I put that slide together because I thought that is a visual that like the game could just look just like that. Like
No, I completely agree. I completely agree.
and this like all this dimensional analysis I think is really good, and I think the students could benefit from it. But if we want to do something that would be easy on the game, I was just going with something really simple for that our Chinese partners could just like, okay, we need a scale, we need this, we need this, and we just need to change these numbers, and that they can put it together.
Okay.
So I don't, like I said, I don't, I like all the other ideas. It's just I feel like I just want to be able to give them something. And I sent it today, but I didn't get a response about it. I said, so I thought, well, at least let's get some feedback, like from Yeah,
Okay. What if we just did something, and I don't care if it's mine or Joe's, but just like a link that says something like, if you need background information leading up to stoichiometry, click above.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I think all of the ideas are good instructional ideas, but I think the idea of getting something together for the game, we just want to make it like visual and simple and like something that our Chinese partners can go ahead and do. And then I mean, probably all of it would be good. It's just if we keep a narrower focus, we can move. They can move on with it. I think.
So do we need to provide more pictures similar to the ones you did?
Well, my thought, and maybe it's like the easy way out. Before we would do any kind of, we're going to do the student testing and all that, like in the first week of November. But my thought was, for now, just give them that one set of pictures, and they would just change the numbers. Like, or we could give them different numbers to fill in, so that they are essentially working the same problem, like with the same equation, but they would be given like, okay, if we end up with this much of the product, how much of the reactant, or just filling in different ones, and that could be the game like phase one, and see what they come up with in terms of the actual game, and then we've got the idea, and at any point, if they can do that, we could go in and do different equations, but I don't know how hard it's going to be for them to even just set that up, and really, you could run the game with just that one equation for like round one.
And then
And
you could just change the amount of reactants and or products, and you could work it back and forth.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
It's just just changing, keeping it like I'm just thinking really really simple. For that and see if once they get that done, if they get that done and they're like, hey, we're bored, we want something else. Well, hey, could you add round two, and it would look like this, and it would use a different equation. But I think as far as sort of testing out how this idea translates into a game and how they're going to program it in and getting the communication just for like one picture set and one set of reactant and product, I think that might be the way to go.
And then go from there.
Yeah, and Joe probably doesn't like that, but he doesn't communicate. So I don't know what he seems like he has some pretty strong ideas about what he wants to do, but we got an email today saying other groups are moving forward. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, our Chinese partners seem like they're panicking a little bit.
Yeah, and I think we just need to make an executive decision about what to do so we can let them know. And I really wish I had gotten some feedback if they understood what I sent them at all. Like if that was something they could work with. But I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of how we could clarify the pictures so that we could tell them exactly what we're looking at. Because the hard thing is they don't have a clue what stoichiometry is. So we're having them set up a game based on knowledge that they don't have.
Do you think they're college students, right?
I don't know, but I don't know how.
I mean, clearly they do chemistry, right?
I don't know. I don't know how their school system works, whether they specialize at an early age into certain disciplines,
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I've heard that in some ways that's how it works in China. If you're going to go into the doctor field, you start very young. And so
maybe they don't, but all we need to do is give them like the set of numbers to put in the boxes, and then they just basically need it either to be the right answer or the wrong answer, and if it's the right answer, it does something. If it's the wrong answer, it says like try again or something like that. I think that's as simple as it needs to be.
okay. So should our next step be to work on the numbers to put in the boxes?
I guess. I mean, I kind of feel like if we give them one set of numbers,
Did you? I can't remember. I remember the pictures, but did you provide a set of numbers?
I think I did. I think I like had 3 grams or something. Like,
Okay, I was gonna say I think I remember you seeing something.
yeah, I think it was pretty simple. So yeah, I mean, I really would like to hear like, okay, we generally could do this, but I think they probably can based on what it seems like. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, I feel like the next step is making sure Joe's on board, or like not opposed, I guess. But I don't think we can wait for a long time to, we've had all week to work on it, and I don't feel like we've really gotten anywhere. Like,
Well, I didn't get a response from anybody, and so I say we move forward.
yeah,
You
and
know, we've got majority vote, and I don't mean to be mean about it, but we're not getting communication from him at all.
yeah, and I'm sorry. I would have wished I had gotten your idea sooner, so I could have responded because I
no.
I was like, are they on Blackboard somewhere, posting or something? So I'm sorry that I didn't get your email. I'll look back and see if I got it. 'Cause I
No,
don't
no, no,
remember.
don't. I'm not worried about it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been very vigilant, like every day checking. So yeah, I think we need to just decide to. We'll just let Joe know that hey, like another week has passed and we moved on. We love your idea, but maybe that could be a different round in the game down the line, or something like that. And then
well, his wasn't even. His was just like mine. His was the dimensional analysis piece. It was not the stoichiometry piece.
yeah, and it wasn't really some like it was it's a great teaching tool, but it wasn't really set up in a game format. It seemed like kind of like yeah, we could work it, but I was like, let's just here's a picture of this, here's a number, fill in a number. It's not the most fun game, but it's a game.
Yeah,
you know,
and
and I
we
think
don't even know knowledge-wise where they're at in their curriculum, whether they can build anything more complicated than that anyway.
yeah, the examples of the games I saw were really simple, like really simple. Now I don't know if that's just what the examples were, but it looked like the simpler the better.
Okay.
So I guess um, we should just send another email out to everybody, kind of summarizing, you know, like I guess what we've said. And
Okay. What I'll do is I can compose one while we're talking right now.
okay,
So,
that's a good
uh,
idea.
okay. I just put Brenda and I spoke this evening and are composing this email together while we're Skyping.
Yay!
So, um, we would like to go ahead and move forward with the simple pictures to begin, quote, phase one, or what do we
Yeah,
want to call it? Level one?
yeah, and unless really, if we only do level one, I'm okay with that. In terms, like, I think we should start there. And if it just turns out we have all this extra time and all this extra desire, we can add on. But I think we should aim small to be successful.
All right, so what I put is we would like to go ahead and move forward with the simple pictures to begin level one of our game. This gives us a place to start, and if we only have one level, that is fine. We can always add more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So let me look at the problem that I sent, just so we could actually just tell them the answer needs to be this. If it's anything else, it's wrong. Maybe
okay.
they can they can know. I gotta look at that thing. I mean, I just made that up on the fly, like what the equation was or whatever. Wait, what's that? Yeah, and yeah, because it had there was actually it was more a little more advanced than like it was kind of like maybe it wouldn't have to even be this advanced, but I thought we could just start here. We could always go simpler because I had the 3 grams and then I had the 200 milliliters in a 1 molar solution, and then that's how many grams.
Okay.
So, like, they would have to write the equation, balance the equation, figure out how many moles that was for the 1 molar solution, convert the 3 grams of iron to moles, and then do the stoichiometry. So it's more of a summative kind of thing.
But on the actual game, they're just providing the final answer, correct?
I think that I think that's where we should start so that there's just one answer. I think ideally there would be maybe more to it, but I think if we started with this and got this working, it probably would be good just for now to at least get that much because I think that's a lot actually.
Okay, so I said if you look at the pictures Brenda sent, the game would be to find the number of grams of copper, right?
Of copper.
In the what was it in these? I don't want to go into too much detail, so I just say should I just say in the
I would say the
problem?
number of grams based on the information provided in the blue boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess I need to work out the answer. I need to do some stoichiometry.
okay. I don't want to mess you up, so just tell me when you're done.
Well, if you want to work it out too, just to make sure that I don't make a Sunday night error, that
Okay.
might be good because we don't want to tell them the wrong answer. I'm trying to read my periodic table, that's why I'm squinting.
What is the molecular weight of iron?
55, 85.
All right, what did you get?
3.41.
Okay, I may have rounded because I got 3 point, looking. I think I wrote down 3.49, but we're close.
Okay, so I had 3 times 63.55.
Oh, that's why. That's why I'm off. I used 5 grams instead of 3 grams.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Okay. So,
And I had that the copper sulfate like was excess. So
yeah, I do too.
um, I mean, there's like really everything in stoichiometry is involved in this problem. It's kind of hard, but we could always do like the steps if we wanted to just like or make it simpler. But I think if they can get this idea where they've got certain information in the boxes and then like a missing answer, I think they could once they get that figured out, we could easily add multiple scenarios, with different equations or different information or like a different molarity or I think we could just change it easily. But I think if they could get something like this together in the next week or two, it would probably be a big hurdle to have overcome to see what they can come up with, and then they could share that with us. And if it seemed like it was working, we could say, okay, well, could you do another round that use this number, or maybe they use this picture or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, so I guess we do need to like in order for the game to work, we would have to tell them like where we want them to round, or I would have to adjust and put like appropriate significant digits in the boxes because I just did like 3, 201. I didn't. I mean, based on this, they would have to say 3. You know, with significant digits. So I don't know if we would rather say like
I
maybe
wonder I wonder if they could.
like I could do 3.00 200, and make it so I don't know how important significant digits are in your class. They're always annoying in my class.
um well, don't get me wrong, they're important, but I don't think that they're important. That's not the concept we're trying to get across.
I agree. I agree. So we could make it so like if they put 3, or we could just say put 2 decimal places. We could just tell them that, like in the on the game screen, like what is your answer to 2 decimal places? Or we could say where if they put 3, it's right. If they put 3.4, it's right. If they put 3.41, it's right. But it seems like it might be,
It might be easier just to do 2 decimal places.
yeah, just say put your answer to 2 decimal places, and we can put that in the instructions of the game or something.
All right, here's what I have so far. I said, hey everyone, Brenda and I spoke this evening and are composing this email together while we're Skyping. We would like to go ahead and move forward with the simple pictures, parentheses from Brenda, to begin, quote, level 1 of our game. This gives us a place to start, and if we only have one level, that is fine. We can always add more. Uh, if you look at the pictures Brenda sent, the game would be to find the number of grams of copper based on the information provided in the blue boxes. The answer to the problem is 3.41 grams. In the game, if we could have some type of quote cheers/congratulations, you are correct, if they provide the answer, and some type of quote try again if they provide anything else. This is a complicated problem, but the student would just provide the answer. We could then build on this by changing the numbers. The directions for this problem in the game would be to calculate the number of grams of copper to 2 decimal places.
I think that's good.
Okay. If you all could start with this and see what you come up with, and show us what you come up with.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of easy English,
Yeah, I am too.
um, please start with it. Uh, I don't know. I said something that I realized wasn't that clear. It was like, let me know if this is something you can work with, and I'm like, I don't know if that. Um,
Please,
yeah, I think you were better.
please start with this and show us the result,
Yeah, yeah.
and we can go from there. No, I don't even want to say that because that might be confusing.
I would just say and show us the results. Um, please let us know if you have any questions. Because once they show us the result, we can go from there if we want to, but we don't have to say that, you know? I think just getting the questions. If they have any questions, would be good, progress.
All right. Anything else?
Um, I think that's it. Really, we just need to see if this is okay with them, see what they can do with it, and then help them make it, and then go on. So, I mean,
Okay, I just sent it. So
I should be getting it too, right?
yes, I sent it to you as well.
Okay. Since sometimes I just don't get emails from you. Hey, there it is. I think that sounds good. Yeah. You're probably gonna get an auto response from.
I already did.
I got those several times today, and every time I was like, "Ooh, ooh, I'm getting a response." Oh, I'm not getting a response.
I wish it. I wish I knew what it said in Chinese at the bottom.
It probably says, "Leave me alone." It's the weekend. Well, hopefully we hear back from them, and hopefully this puts them at ease that they have something to work with. And I think getting something on the getting them to get something on the screen is probably the most important thing, because really time is going by pretty fast. If you look at when we're supposed to have this tested, is November 7th.
Right, and that's what 2 weeks, 3 weeks
Yeah,
away.
it's 3 weeks from now, but they've got to first set it up and do it and get do the back and forth. So I think I hope this works, and I hope this is something they can do, and I hope they understand what we're talking about.
Like I said, I wish I knew whether or not they had a baseline knowledge of stoichiometry,
I
but
know. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I wonder that too. And if they did, I wonder if they would call it stoichiometry.
no telling. I bet they're looking at this going, "What is that?"
I know. Well, yeah, this is probably easier than the nuclear, though. I think. I guess. I don't know. Probably all the same. Um, I I hope that um Joe's okay with it too. I hate to just make decisions, but I
What
do
can we
just feel like
do?
we should move on. You know.
I mean, there's nothing we can do, you know?
Mhm. Today was I just worked on schoolwork all day.
That was my part of my yesterday, so, and it'll be all of my tomorrow. So,
Yeah,
have you done the 12 or even 6 of your, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. At the end of my 7-hour work session today, because remember I got the 3 classes.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and it was midterms in the one class and a paper in the other class, and so I did all that, and then I got together with trying to figure out this class, and it takes about an hour to go through all of his slides and figure out what the assignment is
Is?
exactly, and then to go back to read the things that you're supposed to read, and so I did look back over at that, and I don't think it's gonna be so bad, since we really just the they're still offerable, I guess.
The what threw me is that he said 6 of them were due today, but then there was like no place to turn them in.
I think there's not anything to turn in until the end. I think he's just trying to give us baby steps.
Okay.
That was
That's
my understanding.
that's what I was hoping it was. So
Yeah, because he kept saying start now, because this is due whenever, like November 17th.
yeah.
And so I hadn't done anything with it. This week has just been insane. So I don't think it's going to be that hard to sit down and find the 12. I think what's going to take more time is like once we got it funneled down, like actually looking at them in more detail. And honestly, for me, it's kind of odd because I'm already doing that project. Like I'm doing it right now with my teacher
Oh,
and my
okay.
collaborator.
I
So I don't really need to find a global collaborator for this project because I'm doing it. But oh well.
What does your teacher teach?
Physics.
Okay, mine does too. What are y'all doing for a collaboration?
They're using VPython computer, like it's a software, it's a free software where you can do like basic programming and modeling. And so they're learning that. Both groups of students are learning that, and they're going to work together on a collaboration where they model like a physics problem that's going to be like a speed, distance, like police radar scenario that they came up with, that the teachers came up with. And so they're just going to put that together. It's kind of strange because the global partner, their internet, they got a virus somehow, and their internet has been down for weeks now, like at school.
Oh my.
And he said that even when it comes back up, they won't have like all services, like won't be available because it's going to be really slow because apparently they've like overloaded it or something. So he said like they won't be able to do Skype because it won't be able to handle the video, like the live video. So that's kind of come to a little bit of a screeching halt.
You know that you can turn that off, right?
What, the video?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just the idea of like, I mean, they can still chat, I guess, but I think they kind of wanted to see each other just to make it more interesting. So yeah, their internet's still down. He's letting me know when it's up, so that's on hold.
Where's that at? Where are they?
They're in Belize.
Belize? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it hard to find a global partner?
No, not for me, but I just use good old fashioned like human contact with a person who was in our group that is from the Caribbean, and she's like in charge of like all the Caribbean island countries because they're all like one big conglomeration. And so she just knew a bunch of people, and I asked her if she knew someone who would be interested in doing a physics one, and she said yeah, and she sent me an email. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of the easy way, but I was, once I found somebody, I was like, okay, well, good. So I haven't had to look through all of these ideas, but I guess if I wanted to do another one, I've exhausted I can still email her, I guess, but yeah, so that's going along, but it's at a stop right now.
No kidding. Okay, well, hopefully we'll hear something, maybe overnight tonight. Who knows? So.
Yeah, I know it's weird with the time differences too. But okay, well, I'm glad you were able to talk and that we were able to put something together.
I will send you this video. That way, if you want to do screenshots from it, like you can watch it and do screenshots.
Instead of ones where I'm live.
But and it's got screenshots of the email while we're working on it too.
Oh,
and so, because it pulls up whatever I'm working, it videos whatever I'm working on my screen.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Is
that something that you're doing through Skype or through a different service?
It's through a program called Screencast-O-Matic. So it's so that I can lecture and put my lectures up on the computer for my students. So I've used it a couple of times, but not a whole lot.
Is it free or is it something you had to pay for?
It depends on the level you want. I think for up to like a 5-minute video, it's free, but I went ahead and paid for a year subscription, and so I can do like 8 hours of video if I want. So, yeah, like I could talk that long.
Yeah, really.
So, but yeah, I'm not gonna send this to everybody. I'm just gonna send it to you.
Okay.
So.
We're sorry, we're making this decision. We're just making this decision.
Yeah, I don't want him to feel like we're you know, shooting him down, but we're being honest. He doesn't communicate.
Yeah,
So,
and I really really wish I had been there last week, but I was there. I just wasn't there early.
well, and that's what I decided. I don't know. I logged on and literally you popped up. So I logged on about the same time you did because I was like, in case Joe gets on there, I don't want to log on early and him start talking.
Yeah,
So,
and that's why I just sent you. I was like, hey, when you're ready, let me know because sometimes I'm like budgeting my time. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna finish this before my 8 o'clock meeting. And if you call early, it's like, that was you're early. So that's why I just sent. I don't know if you got my text that was like, I'm ready.
I think I did.
Yeah, I don't always catch those texts when I log on. Sometimes they come in. I'm like, I see it after I hang up, and I'm like, oh, that would have been nice.
Good to know.
But all right, well, I'm gonna get ready for bed. It's a little bit later here.
Yeah. Have a good night, and
Okay.
I'll let you know if I hear anything, and vice versa.
Okay. Thank you. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
Bye.
Bye.